Booyah.
Boo.
We're live on Facebooks, sending data to Twitch and YouTube.
How about Periscope?
We're online.
How about TikTok?
How about TikTok? Yeah. We don't have TikTok yet, so.
Wait, what? You can't go live on TikTok? Come on.
Oh, you absolutely can. I've seen it.
Oh.
You've seen it?
I seen it.
All right, welcome everybody to the Disc Golf Answer Man Show. We are live coming at you from.
That's a new one.
Would you like that show?
No, that's like Johnny V's after show.
Yeah.
So we are still remote. We got myself, but now I'm at the warehouse. I'm back at the warehouse. Things are cooking at the warehouse. Well, not cooking, but they're moving right along. Everybody's busy. Robert and Eric are still calling in from home. So I'm
in Scranton, PA.
Oh, that's right. You're in Scranton. And Robert is, where are you, Robert?
I'm at my house.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry.
Oh, just hold on. Hold on. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Wow. Were you going to try to get a background or something?
No.
Okay.
I'm in space.
Speaking of space, have you watched Space Force yet?
I keep forgetting to watch it.
Dude, watch Space Force. Fantastic. It's on Netflix. It's Steve Carell, John Malkovich. Worth the watch. Trust me.
If it's John Malkovich as anyone but Teddy KGB, I'm out. Not interested.
You need to be in on this.
You're kind of loud, Robert. You want to turn you down a little bit?
I can turn myself down a little bit, yes.
Just a hair?
Yep.
Just a hair. I'm not sure how loud I am compared to everybody, but
okay. I'm gonna keep talking and you tell me if I'm turning the right direction because it's backwards on mine. So
nice.
I just turned it down.
Okay.
How's that?
A little bit better, yeah. Not quite
more.
No, that's good. But apparently Digging DG has rated us. I'm at 720p, Robert is at 4K, and EMAC is at 240.
Nice.
So,
awesome. Fantastic.
It is kind
exactly how I wanted it.
All right. So
is that okay now on the mic?
I think so. We'll get.
I can turn it down more.
Well, I don't know if it's just loud for me or loud for the audience. I don't have any.
Audience, tell me.
Tell us, audience.
Am I louder than everybody? I can just speak more quietly. We'll see what the chat has to say.
The chat. All right, I am rearranging my desktop to work more efficiently. We have just two. Well, we actually have one speak pipe. I don't speak pipe. I'm not sure why that's slowed down, but no one seems to want to send in speak pipe. But we have one hot take speak pipe that I thought we could just kind of talk about maybe on its own. Oh, we didn't figure out who's going to come up with the hot take, did we?
No.
Great. Am I going to have to raid the hot take document here?
There's not many good ones left.
Maybe while you guys are answering questions, I'll grab one and make one up.
That's a good idea.
Or have Danny or Anthony do it since they'll have.
That's a better idea. Nothing better than the usual sound check every week. Never fails. Daniel, George Hamilton, we're in different places every time, man. We got to make sure that everything is good.
It's true.
Was that Sebastian Larkin?
Yes.
Well,
it's been a month since you threw a disc. Wesley does. Well, then your name can't be Wesley Does Disc Golf, or it's going to have to be Wesley Used to Do Disc Golf.
It's true.
Wesley previously did disc golf.
Yes.
I would assume Robert's around that time frame.
No, I've thrown once in the last month.
Gotcha.
It was fun. No, I played around. I played at West.
Okay.
It was fun. Although it did, part of my hiatus is that it kind of messed with my shoulder. Because like I did something to it. I don't know doing what, but enough that it was just like a little annoying, not like a, major injury or whatever.
Sure.
But then when I went and played disc golf at the end, I was feeling it. So not great, but whatever. And we're back. I'm about ready for our Trilogy Challenge.
Yeah, when's that going down?
I don't know. Sometime.
Right now.
In the future. Yeah.
Just go. We'll do this episode from the course.
Did you guys see the Bill and Ted's trailer?
I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw the link.
Yeah. I wasn't really impressed.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Keanu.
All right. Let's see. We ready, folks?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. Let's go ahead and hit record on this computer. We are recording. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. With me, Eric McCabe and Robert McCall.
Yo.
And I should probably now change my name to Bobby McCoolBreeze. Everybody's got
probably
that
should.
but me. All right, so we are back. Bobby to what?
Bobby McBrown.
All right, we are back with another episode. This is episode 319. We've got a lot of disc golf questions to get to. This is our last week working from home officially. So after this week, everybody's coming back in. Coronavirus seems to be settling down a bit, although I saw some reports that were a little alarming, but nothing to worry about. Hope everybody else that is listening or watching is able to get out and play some disc golf. I got out and played. What did I play? I played Jones West on Sunday morning.
Nice.
And threw my back out. It was amazing. So
fantastic.
Good times. But other than that, I had a pretty good round out there. Played a little disc golf out at Jones West. The course was looking fantastic. What about you guys? Did you get to play any disc golf?
I did not play
this weekend.
Yeah, me either. Nothing, no disc golf related.
I'm the only one that played disc golf on the weekend?
Yeah.
First time ever.
I'm the only true disc golfer, huh?
Yeah. I did fish. I went fishing. Actually, it was crazy. Sunday was a crazy day. I fished for probably 5 hours right through the heat of the day.
Woo!
Went home, chopped up all my fish, put them in the fridge, and then went on a 14-mile bike ride. So it was a crazy Sunday.
That's a big Sunday.
Yeah, your bike looks cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fun.
Way better than Bobby's.
So much. Blue versus yellow. I mean, come on.
Come on. Is it the same model otherwise, though?
No, Bobby's is a 6, mine is a 5.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
I don't know.
Out of 6 stars, yours is a 5 stars.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're becoming pretty active people. Pickleball, disc golf, mountain biking. Whatever's next. You guys throw it at us and we'll play it.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I played a little pickleball. Just a little bit. Mm-hmm.
I got to play some pickleball too. Guess who asked about pickleball, Robert?
Who?
Denise.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to our disc golf show on our Disc Golf Answer Man podcast here. Like I said, we got a lot of questions. One thing I wanted to make sure everybody knows that this is the last month for United States Amateur Match Play Championships to play a local bracket. So make sure you go to discgolfmatchplay.com and see if there's a bracket near you. Play for your chance to win 18 veteran baskets and discs for life, valued at $6,000 worth of discs over 10 years. So
it's a lot of discs.
It's a lot of discs. So make sure you check that out, discgolfmatchplay.com. All right, let's get into the questions. Let me find them.
And my romantic said he's been playing spike ball. I get down on spike ball. It's so much fun.
All right, so this one is from Travis. It says, marking a disc with a mini. I'm new to disc golf and your show, so this question may be redundant or obvious for longtime disc golfers. I understand that when you mark your disc with the mini, you line the back of the mini up with the front of your disc. This in effect allows you to stand the width of your disc closer to the basket than if you played your thrown disc without marking a mini. Why isn't the rule like ball golf where you can only mark behind your ball?
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Just as an idea, I heard there was, I don't remember if he was on the PDGA competition board or whatever, but there was somebody who was advocating for this for a little while, that it'd be a little different than golf, because when you mark your ball in golf, you take it, you clean your ball off, and then you replace it. So you're not changing your lie ever, and it's behind it. You mark it behind.
Well, and you can only do that on the green.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you can only do it once you get to the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's like floppy wet, and then they have.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, some different rules for that. But in disc golf, I think what would be a decent way to go about it is if we mark the back of the disc with the mini. So if I don't have discs in here right now, but if you would basically cover the back edge of your disc with the mini. So your mini would replace your disc instead of you putting it on the back edge, like to where it lines up to it with its like the way that we traditionally mark it just on the backside. It only makes sense to back mark it, but to line up with where the back edge would have been and to have the same lie. That's the only way that you keep the same lie all the time. I would be in favor of this for sure. It would be a change on what we do. But unless I'm putting, most of the time I don't mark it unless I want to throw the same disc.
That's what I was going to say. The only time I ever mark a disc is if I'm putting, or if I'm taking a meter relief, or want to throw that same disc. That's about it. The only time. But I'm for it. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be all about it.
Cool. All right, next one comes from Rick. Hello, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. I'm not the normal disc golfer that you would see on the course. I don't have any hands. I'm a bilateral above the elbow amputee by birth, meaning that my arms end just above the elbow.
Wow.
Even though I do keep fairway and distance drivers in my bag, I don't have the arm speed to throw them. Keeping it real, my max drive is around 30 feet, 40 feet on a good day with a mid-range, but I'm a solid putter in the circle, taking between 8 and 10 on a 300-plus foot par 3. I want to play in a tournament in 2021, knowing that I'll place last on the leaderboard because I'll have to compete with the able-bodied disc golfers. My questions to the panel are: 1, have any of you played around with disc golf with a disability?
Have we played a round of disc golf with someone who has a disability? I think is what he's asking.
I have not.
I have with a mental disability, but not a physical one.
Okay.
But to answer your question, first of all, good for you for getting out there and playing and taking advantage of a sport like disc golf that allows you to do that. That's super cool. Props to you. If you're going into a tournament, I mean, something that we talk to people about a lot, even when they're trying to compete, trying to finish at the top of the leaderboard, is to have fun when you play competitive disc golf. Because if you don't, it's just, man, it's so easy to get frustrated, to get in your head, to get mad that you missed a shot or 2 or a 10. But I would say for you, just go out and have a good time. It might be worth your while to talk to the TD ahead of time, just so that they're aware of kind of what your expectations are. And I think they'd probably be more likely to put you on a card with people who are going to have a better time playing with you than some others. Because unfortunately for you, I think there will be some people who aren't going to be excited to play with someone who is going to score an 8 or a 10. But that's the way it goes. Like, that's just how it is. But there's some people, like I think the 3 of us would fall into this category, that if you said during a tournament round, there's going to be someone who hasn't played a tournament before, who is, I think he said bilateral amputee. I relish that thought. Like, that would be so much fun to get to play and strategize and talk along during the round. So anyway, probably a good idea to reach out to the TD and just let them know what's going on. But otherwise, I'd say do it, man. Get after it.
He also wants to know if we'd ever seen or played on an adaptive disc golf course. I've never heard of one.
The only thing I could think of, where was I? Tennessee. There's a course out in Tennessee that the front 9 is wheelchair accessible, where off the tee pad there's a concrete path that goes basically to the kind of off to the right side of the fairway and goes all the way down and then makes a 90-degree turn and then goes around the basket. That's the only one I've ever seen could be more of them coming in the future. You never know. But it's an 18-hole course, and the front 9 was wheelchair accessible, which I know that's not necessarily your game, I guess you would say, but it's a shorter style of course.
Yeah. One other person that comes to mind who is an incredible disc golfer is named Carver Whitford. He's been coming to Junior Worlds for the last couple of years. That's how I became familiar with him. But Carver is not an amputee, but he only has 2 fingers on each hand. It's what looks like the equivalent of a thumb and a pinky, and he is an incredible disc golfer.
From BC.
He is, from British Columbia. That's right. I mean, he can bomb it out there. He's a great putter. He has a fantastic attitude. And he, for me, watching him play was honestly inspirational because I throw plenty of bad shots with fully functional hands. And he was killing it. So anyway, he would probably be someone to reach out to. I mean, he's a junior, so you'd probably want to touch base with his parents first, but somebody to reach out to just to talk to about his experience. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I actually, that kind of reminded me when I was first getting into the game. I remember there was a guy named Carlos from Topeka that used to play who was legally blind.
Wow.
He could see like blurred, very, very blurred images. And how it would work is he would always have a guy with him telling him the direction, how far, what to do. And he would play tournaments and he would play pretty well. And anytime he got to like putting, he could see like a big white blob if you had a towel. So the guy would stand directly behind the basket and hold a beach towel up where the basket is, and he could see, and then that's how he would putt.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool. And he was phenomenal. Dude was pretty killer. It was awesome.
Cool. All right, next one comes from Evan, and he wants to know about beginner-friendly courses. How much land area would be suggested for a 9-hole course similar to Hammond Park? So Hammond Park is a 9-hole. What's the distance of Hammond Park? Do you know off the top of your head, Eric?
The acreage, I want to say, is 12 acres.
12 acres. So that'd be good for. Is that about what you would need, or is that?
I mean, it depends on what part of the. Actually, this says. Let's see. Yeah. It depends on where you're at in the country. I mean, you can obviously utilize a course in the woods. You can use a smaller property in the woods because you've got trees that kind of line the fairways, so you can put it in a little bit more confined area, but a good measure or rule of thumb is about an acre per hole is what you're going to need, at least that much for a beginner style course. And of course, like Hammond definitely comes to mind as a beginner style course.
Yeah. Just for a frame of reference, Hammond total is 2,319 feet.
Yeah. And does it say acreage? How many acres?
No. It doesn't say. This is just from a document where we're measuring holes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. Cool.
Nice. All right. Real quick, guys, we've started something new called Community, where we actually can text you. You can put our phone number into your phone and I will text you. And I'm going to be working with some of our touring players to get some tips and tutorials sent out to you. You'll get early access to some promos or access to some behind the scenes type stuff, but you can do that through your phone. Just send me a text. And if you want to be part of our Disc Golf Answer Man group, where we're sending some special Disc Golf Answer Man stuff, you can text DGAM to, get ready to write this down, 620-312-3225. That's 620-312-3225. No, not a good jingle. There's a good.
Once again, I thought you were going to go with the melody of 867-5309, but you forge your own path. That's what you're about, Bobby. Forging your own path.
Another jingle that I heard somewhere. Empire.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that one, but it didn't work.
300 Empire.
Anyway, you can text, or I can text you. You can text me. And then we'll have some fun with some of our touring players as well. So again, 620-312-3225, text DGAM, and it'll get you signed up. All right, next one comes from Patrick. Hey guys, I'm curious about what a disc's glide rating means and how different numbers affect the flight of the disc. A buddy recommended the River to me with a glide rating so high, I want to know exactly what that means. Also, is there any correlation between glide and stability? What say you?
Go for it, Eric.
Well,
You got
glide
this.
is based, numbers are, we've discussed this many, numerous times that it's basically a guide. And the glide portion of it, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of how long the disc stays in the air, how the height, not necessarily the height, I guess, but how long it kind of glides, or obviously glides is a great word for it, but it stays in the air. Obviously, the higher the number, the more glide it's going to have, the more loft it's going to have. And it's definitely different than stability, as where the stability factor comes in on the fade and how much that disc will fade back. In my personal experience, and I'm a little different, and I know Robert and Bobby kind of grew up in this time frame too, where numbers weren't even really around back when I was first playing. When I played for Discraft for so many years, it was they had one number, and that was it. And it was a positive or a negative, and it just had the flight line on it. So it told you what it was supposed to do. Kind of no different than, is that disc stable? Well, back in the day, if a disc was stable, it was overstable from terminologies of today, So it's just a matter of where you grow up and how things have been explained to you as a player. But yeah, glide is just how long the disc stays in the air. My suggestion is that there's plenty of research online. You can do the research and find out what discs do what. We have a great segment called "Is This Disc Right for You?" that you can go and look at all these and get a great idea on the perspective of the flight between myself or Bobby or Anthony or Robert even occasionally. So, if it's a disc that you want to try out, I say try it out. Don't let the numbers affect you not trying out a disc, if that makes sense. Because numbers are not generated by a computer or anything like that. They're generated by people. And if I were to make numbers for a disc, and somebody else were to make numbers for a disc, we're probably going to come up with different numbers. So at the end of the day, it's just a guide to go off of. And if you think a disc is going to be great for you, which a river is a fantastic for slower arms or even bigger arms to get it to go nice and straight or kind of have that nice turn to the right, I say go for it.
Yeah, one other thing to go along with that, glide and stability don't always work the same way. Like a disc can have a lot of glide and be overstable.
Sure.
But a lot of times the discs that are a little more overstable aren't going to have quite as much glide as discs that are understable. The reason for that is if you're throwing a disc that's understable, it kind of wants to turn up and stay in the air a little bit longer naturally if you started on a hyzer. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has more glide. When we're talking about glide, as much as we can, we're trying to determine just how much the disc wants to stay in the air. That's why you see discs like the Escape have a huge glide number. Same with the Getaway. Same with the River. The River, you can start on a little hyzer, let it go straight, and it'll stay in the air for a really long time. Like one of the most fun discs to throw that I think we have. So I would check that out for sure.
Across the board, majority of our discs have quite a bit of glide, more glide than others have.
Right.
All right, next one comes from Will. This is about disc dying. Recently, I have gotten into disc dying, and I'm looking for more discs in the fairway / distance driver category that are white and premium plastic, such as Lucid or Fusion, and that they are they are stable to slightly understable. Are there any specific disc molds you have in stock that would fit that grouping? Thanks, and keep it a real.
White Fusion
or white Lucid or hybrid, I guess, could be thrown in there as long as the disc is white.
I mean, the best thing that you can do is go to dynamicdisc.com, and that's got a live inventory of what we have.
Yeah.
We couldn't tell. I mean, like we could guess off the top of our heads what we've made in white Fusion or white Lucid or hybrid before, but we're not going to have an extensive knowledge of that, at least not ready to recall right now.
Yes.
The best thing, go ahead.
I was gonna say, another great option is to go get a Dymax disc, a custom Dymax disc. You can get just a small logo printed on it, and then those are all white. Those are going to be all white. So, see what the inventory we have on those. And as far as suggesting a disc, for a disc, I'm always going to suggest the Trespass for a disc like that.
Yeah.
Excelente. All right, next question comes from Patrick. Oh, nope. That's the same glide question sent in twice. This is Caleb. I am 11 years old and want to go to an all trilogy bag. Woo, woo. I'm having a hard time finding a replacement for my Mamba number 5. No, which I use for long distance to turnover shots. It looks like a Renegade would be the disc I'm looking for, but it's discontinued and hard to find. Could you suggest another disc that could replace a Mamba number 5? No.
Yes. Yes, we can. So the Mamba is a little bit faster than a lot of the discs that we have in the same stability range. But I think a couple of discs for you to check out would be the Fury from Latitude 64. I think that's a really good replacement. And then the Vandal from Dynamic Discs. If you find, if you're looking for something with the same understability as a Mamba, it is not the Vandal. It's definitely not the Lucid X Vandal. But if you find a stock Lucid Vandal, probably one that's a little bit flatter, you're going to get the same type of speed, but that turn that you're used to from the Mamba. The Fury is a little bit more understable than the Vandal, and I think that would be a good substitute as well.
So the Mamba is an understable disc.
Quite understable. Yep.
Quite. Got it.
Yeah, it's a 9 or 10 speed and like a -3 or 4. It's pretty darn understable.
Cool. And the Renegade is probably a great option, and they are findable. I mean, you could find some out there for sure. And yeah,
would you say the Air Vandal would be a little more understable than the regular Lucid Vandal?
Do we even have
probably so? The Air Vandal, we made those for Trilogy Challenges just as a lighter weight version.
Yeah, I don't know how. There's a 163. That's the only weight. I'm looking at the website, and looks like there's at least one.
I wouldn't.
I
personally wouldn't suggest going a mold that's overstable, quote more overstable than you want, lighter plastic. I would prefer to go a little bit heavier and find it's a little more understable, like the Fury, like Robert suggested, just because the durability of that disc is going to last you a lot longer.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, this question is from Robert.
So
what's up, Robert?
Nice.
Hey, I came up with a question for the show, guys. Are you ready to hear it?
Can't wait to hear it.
Okay, cool. Bobby, why don't you go ahead and read it for me?
Sure, I'll read it for you. So recently my hair has been growing way too fast. Oh, wait, no.
Wait, what? What? No. Wait, what?
I recently been working on my form and have made drastic improvements, but when I'm filming myself, I noticed that my throw is mostly arm. How should I go about practicing engaging my hip? Also, who would win, Macbeth with a hat or without? Those are connected, right? The connected question. So how does he engage his hip more?
Yeah, that's true. Listen to Shakira to start off with. Right. After that, what you can do to kind of get your legs into it a little bit more is to offset your feet. So if you imagine that your body is pointed sideways toward the basket or toward the line that you're trying to throw on, a lot of people will plant with their feet kind of right next to one another, or even with their right foot slightly behind their left. And that causes your hips to be very open, and it's difficult to engage them the way that you need to. So one of the best things that you can do in your run up, once you've X-step, is to set your right foot a little bit farther in front of your left. So if you're looking at like from the back of the tee box, your left foot is going to be kind of toward the middle of the tee box. Your right foot is going to be kind of toward the left front corner, just a little bit. It doesn't need to be all the way out like you're throwing a huge Anheuser. But when you do offset your feet like that, it does a couple of things for you. One, it promotes you rotating on your heel, or at least your midfoot whenever you're throwing. But two, that gets your hips set away from the basket or away from the target line when you're reaching back. So it's much easier to engage if you actually get them into position. That would probably be the biggest thing that I would recommend is, yeah, offsetting that front foot just a little. Not so much that your body is like 45 degrees to the target line. But instead it's like, you know, if straight forward is 90 degrees, right? Like if you're starting perpendicular at 0 and straight forward is 90 degrees, maybe your foot is at like 80 degrees or something. So it's just a little bit farther to your left than you're used to. That'll help engage your hips a little bit.
Fantastic. Great answer for yourself there, Robert.
Yes. Now I'm going to go work on that now and offset my feet a little bit. Bobby, you're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
This is from Hank. Hey guys, a few weeks back when Zach was on the show, you guys gave him some great pointers about my putting consistency and mental approach. I think you'll be happy to know that I threw all those tips out the window and bought a bunch of Wardens.
My man.
Problem solved.
If anything that I've learned in playing disc golf, it's if I'm playing poorly, just go get some more discs. It usually solves the problem.
Yep.
All right, this is Rob. Tried out a fluid escape last week. It has now become one of my favorites. Will DD ever make them again? I'd love to have some truths and escapes without having to pay an arm and a leg. I don't know that we have any plans to make fluid again. It's one of those things that we made and tried, and although they seemed to be popular, they weren't quite as popular to keep us making those. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have like a limited run or something like that. You never know. So make sure you keep your eyes out on our social media so that so you always know we're working on. Hey, we got a kind of a celebration, and we got Anthony just reminded me, we actually hit our 50,000 subscriber mark on our YouTube channel. So thank you guys. If you are subscribed, if you're watching right now, if you're listening, and you're not subscribed, please make sure you go subscribe to YouTube, youtube.com/dynamicdiscs. We try to have some fun and informative content out there. Now that things are starting to open back up, as far as getting out and play tournaments and stuff like that, we hope to have a lot more stuff for you to watch. So yeah, congrats to us for reaching that goal. Plus, I have some goodies to give away now that we've reached that milestone. So, all right, next question comes from Ryan. What's up, DGAM fam? Would Dynamic/Trilogy consider doing a disc signing like how Discmania has done with Eagle and Simon? I only throw Trilogy disc, but I've bought a couple other brand discs to be able to get a disc signed by Eagle, Simon, and Paul, etc. It would be awesome if the Trilogy brand would put on a signing session to be able to get some of the discs I throw signed by the pros who throw them and support the pro at the same time by buying more of their touring discs. Ryan, I'm going to go on a limb and say maybe you're kind of new to us, which is awesome. Welcome to the familia. But we have actually done signing sessions at our store. We've had our touring team come in and they'll basically sit for a few hours at the store. We'll go live, have a little fun with it, and allows you to sign discs. Now that has obviously slowed down because of the coronavirus and people not traveling quite as much. But now, again, like I said, now that we've got traveling happen again, I'm sure that's going to happen more often as more team players make their way to Emporia. Also, if you're ever at an event and you know one of our players are going to be there, they have a table set up, they'll be more than happy to sign a disc for you. So make sure you check out any of the big tournaments that come to your area and find out if any of our team players have a table set up to sell some discs. Even Robert might sign one for you.
Just maybe, if it's not a judge.
Right. Next one is from Mark. PDGA elections. I'm running for a 2020 PDGA board of directors position. I would like to ask if I could join you for, he's just asking if he can be on a podcast. Well, maybe Mark, I might have to reach out to you and see, but then I'd have to make a call for everybody because then I don't want to seem like I'm playing favorites, right?
Not necessarily, because he reached out to you.
That's a fair point. The other ones should have the initiative.
That's right.
Yeah.
Best ever. I mean, come on.
All right, we'll save that one and I'll have to send Mark an email. Let's see. This guy is looking. I threw my Discraft Avenger SS into a tree line, never to be seen again. I probably did this purposely because subconsciously I wanted to fully transition my bag into trilogy discs only. Yeah, that's probably what happened. What in the Dynamic Discs lineup should I use to replace my Avenger SS? On a side note, when are the Vandals going to be released in the Fusion plastic?
Don't know about Fusion plastic. Maybe later this year, maybe next year. Who's to say? I have a suggestion. I bet Eric has a good one too. I would say the Underworld from Westside Discs is a pretty similar speed and understability. good for turning and like easy to throw shots and maybe rollers if you really get over on it. That's the one I would suggest.
Yeah, I actually used to roll the Avenger SS quite often, and yeah, the Underworld's a great option. The disc you mentioned earlier too, the Fury is actually a great. It's going to be a little faster probably, but similar stability. And when I first transitioned over, I really didn't miss a step with my rollers going from the Avenger SS to the Fury. So the Fury, or even Renegade, if you can find them, those are pretty good roller discs too. But those two, I would suggest the Fury and the Underworld.
Yes.
All right, the next one is more of a hot. We're getting a lot of people wanting to send in their hot takes. This one's actually
on.
not too bad, so we might save it for the hot takes segment, because this one's actually not too bad. All right, we'll move on to the next question. All right, we'll move on to the next question. This is from Zach. I've been playing for a few years, and last week I played some catch frisbee with friends. They could throw the frisbee smooth and right at me, whereas mine had a bunch of over-axis torque.
Off-axis.
Off-axis, and would turn and burn. How do I throw a catch disc different compared to a putter? Is this the reason I can only push putt and can't spin putt to save my life?
Probably not.
I
Because
was just getting a bite. Just get a bite to play catch with.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, well, my answer was about to be just as good. I was going to say just get good, and then then you can throw it straight.
Yeah.
No, I think, and Eric, you can speak to this because you're pretty darn good at throwing with no torque or wobble, or at least close to none. But off-axis torque a lot of times comes from not matching the angle that you reach back on to the angle you hit on to the angle you follow through on. And a lot of times with ultimate frisbees, what people do is, especially once you've played disc golf for a while, you feel like you need to throw it like a disc golf disc, and you don't. For me, I think about throwing it on just a little bit of hyzer and then act as if I'm just popping my wrist. Like I'll bring my arm back, but most of the time it's just a little wrist flick unless you're throwing it, farther than, 100 feet, 150, something like that. But that's what I do. I really like playing catch. I've gotten most of the wobble out over the years, but it takes some touch. And I think that's the part that's tough to be patient on, is you want to throw it hard. You want to throw it far. That's not what ultimate frisbees are meant for necessarily.
No. And it comes back to that glide issue. I mean, they stay in the air forever. They're frisbees. They just kind of float. You nailed it though by saying throw it with hyzer, trust it. The key is trust it. It's really hard sometimes to throw a disc with that much hyzer when you're playing with an ultimate disc or just playing catch, trusting it to turn, because disc golf has taught you the complete opposite. When you're throwing a putter, you don't necessarily, especially at that, lower of arm speed, like I'm talking like 50-60% power. When you're throwing a putter it like that, it's just going to want to dump left. You're doing it with an ultimate disc, you have a lot more chance for it to flip to flat and fly like it's supposed to. So it's really just about getting practice out there, and don't try to overthrow it. Don't try to mash on it, and make sure you put extreme hyzer on it, especially if you're just turning and burning.
Yeah, that's how I learned to throw forehands, actually, was with an ultimate frisbee, holding it on as much hyzer as I could, and then just popping it until and it would wobble hard until I got to flat, and a lot of times burn over because, whatever.
Like that's, whole new level of respect for ultimate. Ultimate was on like FX or FS2, Fox Sports, whatever, the other day, and I watched a couple games, and I was like, wow, like those forehands or whatever. So I mean, it's impressive.
Clean.
Dudes are impressive.
Very
awesome.
All right, guys, I want to remind you that Trilogy Challenges are happening right now. Go to trilogychallenge.com. You can see an event see if an event is happening in your area. Right now, we have something this weekend in Texas, South Dakota, and Missouri. So got different things happening in different parts of the United States. And then after that, it really opens up, and there's quite a few going on the weekend after that and the weekend. So Things are getting busy with disc golf. People are wanting to get out and play. You can get two unreleased discs and one disc that is in a new plastic. So we have the Latitude 64 SPZ3, which is the driver. We have the mid-range from Us Dynamic Discs, which is the Bounty. And then from Westside is the putter, the BT Hybrid Crown. So if you want to get your hands on those at a really good price, check out trilogychallenge.com. All right, next one comes.
Super fast. If you haven't thrown these discs yet, I would argue that this is the best lineup of discs we've had for a Trilogy Challenge, possibly ever. And I didn't think we had bad ones before, but the SPZ3 is fantastic. Super straight, easy to throw. The Bounty is the one I've been looking forward to the most, and it did not disappoint. Easy to throw straight, easy to work just a little bit to the right. And then the Crown is the Crown. I mean, it's just a super steady, little bit of left finish putter, really comfortable in the hand. Yeah, this is a great group of Trilogy Challenge discs.
Yep.
All right, next one comes from Cade in mid-range and slow way fair drivers.
Perfect.
Nice.
Slow fairway drivers.
Those are my favorite.
Hey, I love the podcast and listen to every episode. Robert is my favorite, even though I putt with judges. Aww.
It feels like a compliment, but you still putt with judges, so my work is not done.
Okay. I'm looking for a go-to mid-range and I'm wondering if I should use an EMAC and then use slow fairway drivers like the Explorer and Maverick, or use a hybrid like the Warship and River Pro. Thanks for answering my question and giving me something to watch while I'm currently unable to play disc golf.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Is there a question in there?
No, that was just a statement, right? It was a period at the end of that sentence. Oh man, what was the two fairway drivers that he
said the Maverick and the Explorer, or the hybrid like the Warship and River Pro?
Yeah,
I think what he's asking is, like, should he carry that faster, like the mid-range and the fairway driver, or just put it in the middle and say, these are the ones I'm going to carry in the Warship and the River Pro?
Sure. And for me, I don't bag Maverick right now, but I do bag the EMAC, obviously, and an Explorer from time to time. Both of those are just, Sargent comes in and out of the bag as well. Those are just fantastic lineup. It's really about personal preference, to be honest with you. If the Warship feels great in the hand and you get great flight out of it, good for you. That's awesome. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. For me personally, I love the EMAC. I love the feel of it, the more rounded edge of it. It comes out of the hand a little cleaner, and I can get great flights out of it. So that's the route I choose. I used to throw a Warship, and I could never trust it. For me personally, now I've met people like Tristan Tanner, who absolutely loves it. A couple other players that absolutely love it, and it flies fantastic for them. So it's kind of really a matter of what are you getting the best out of the disc. So whatever one that you're throwing the best, I mean, that's really all you can go for. There's different situations. I know people that bag both, EMAC and a Warship. I mean, there is room in the bag for both. For me personally, I like to keep it a little bit smaller bag, maybe minimize the molds, and that way I don't have a lot of question when I'm out on the course. What do I throw, this one or that one? It's just, hey, I'm throwing this one, and I just execute. So it's really personal preference, to be honest.
Yeah, just a quick addition to that. I prefer to do more along the lines of the EMAC Explorer gap, because with a Warship, if I only carry a Warship and a River Pro, I think I'm going to find myself trying to choose between those two a lot for similar shots. The River Pro is obviously more overstable and maybe a hair faster, even though the numbers say it's not. It's got a fairway driver rim. The Warship has a mid-range rim. That's just how it is. But I like carrying the EMAC and the Explorer, because if I step up to a hole that's a little too much for an EMAC, then I know it's an Explorer. I don't have to make a decision. Whereas, let's say I step up to a hole that's 300 feet. I'm probably going to have to back off of the Warship a little bit. Whereas the EMAC, I can just throw pretty much, not full speed, but, a good 85, 90% throw, comfortable shot. But if I step up to a hole that's 330, then that's pretty natural. Like, okay, I'm going to throw the Explorer. So I like having that little bit of distance gapping, so that it kind of takes some decisions out of your hands. You're just like, here's the shot. Okay, I have a disc for that.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. All right, real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We've got about 200 people watching us live right now, so give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. Next one comes from Jalen. Hi, Disc Golf Answerman crew. I recently played with a fellow disc golfer, and my drive ended up under a tree, and he claimed that you could hold the branches back with your body because you weren't using your hands. I was under the impression that you couldn't move them and just had to putt throw from where your lie was. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Thanks, and keep it real.
Man, I've been doing it wrong this whole time then.
It's true. I'm
So
trying
true.
to I'm trying to find the actual rule, but as I one quick search didn't do it right now. As I remember it, you're supposed to get to your lie and disturbing as little as you can with the tree or the environment that's around you.
Mhm.
So, if you're about to throw and your hand is going to hit a branch on the way, that's going to happen. That's totally fine. But if you get in there and then hold stuff back with your arm, you're obviously disrupting the environment. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to avoid. You're just supposed to get in there, make as little of an impact on whatever you're in as you can, and throw your shot. And unfortunately, a lot of times that leaves you with tough shots, but that's the way it goes.
Or playing Kansas where there's no trees.
Yes.
Probably.
Unfortunately, you can't put your arm up and block the wind in Kansas.
No.
You could block a little bit of it, but
I'm going to try
it's
that.
it's not going to help that much.
Wait, I'm blocking the wind.
Hey, Eric, can you come stand in front of me so the first 2 feet of this shot? Thank you.
All right,
You
guys.
need to get the Michael Klump suit.
Oh,
Bang, bang, boom, clump, and then block the wind for everybody.
All right, that's it for the Disc Golf Answerman show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for sending in your questions. Remember, we have Trilogy Challenges going on, trilogychallenge.com last month for match play, discgolfmatchplay.com. Make sure if you want to be in on the community and have some fun with us via texting, text us hello or DGAM to be in the Disc Golf Answerman group, 620-312-3225.
If you haven't done so already, by the way,
correct.
Go to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, drop us a review on there. We've gotten a lot of reviews since the last time, and I sent out the first 2 wardens that I had, the BT hybrid ones. Already sent those out to some winners. I have 2 more BT hybrid wardens that have been used in a video,
And
I might be willing to give them away on the next couple podcasts if you leave us a review. So go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review there. I will choose from the people who have given them since we started asking for them.
Well, I will
Might have your shot.
Well.
uh-oh.
Yes.
I will do this as well.
What?
But I will give away a Fusion X EMAC Ghost Stamp black on black.
Woo! What?
The ones that I was supposed to
That's way better than mine.
Hey, I'm only giving away 1 disc. You're giving away 4. So, yeah,
That's awesome though.
But it's got to be that 5-star, and you got to say something nice.
Yeah, if you come in with the 4 stars,
oh no,
you're out.
Did it?
5 stars. I haven't left a review yet, so can I be eligible to win that?
Yes, sir. You absolutely can.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we'll totally pick you. No.
All right, guys, there you guys. There you go, guys. You heard it. Go to iTunes, leave us a review, and get in for your chance to win some sweet plastic. We'll see you guys in the next Disc Golf Answerman show. Hang in there, YouTube. Don't go away. We're going to do some hot takes. I left a little extra room for hot takes because we have one that's on SpeakPipe, and we actually have one on here that I think we will go ahead and use that as our hot take. Yeah. You guys good with that?
You know it. You're the only one that knows it, right? So technically be your hot take.
There you go. Technically, it's my hot take.
Hopefully it's good. Maybe it can redeem your track of hot takes. You're muted. Bobby, you're muted.
There we go. Stupid button.
Also, I'm only joking. I thought your last one was very good.
I am only joking.
I was only telling a joke.
Hey,
Oh, Anthony, what's up?
is there any way I can handle shipping out the disc that Erica's going to give away? I'll reach out to the person, get their address. I can take care of all of that.
Absolutely.
It'll
I would be
rip.
on.
I would be honored for you to take that off
You
of
know
my
what,
plate.
Eric?
Thank you.
So would I, actually.
All right, hold on. We got Danny coming in. He doesn't Danny like us anymore?
I don't think so.
All right. so I'm
Tukeen
gonna-
said, sorry, while we wait for Danny, Tukeen said something about Brody Smith. I saw that he had gotten bit by a tick.
Yeah.
Might have Lyme disease. I don't know. He's got a pretty nasty thing under his arm. So
Yeah,
anyway, yeah,
severe.
absolutely sucks. This is 100% the time to make sure that you are checking yourself when you leave the disc golf course, because ticks and like those type of diseases, Lyme disease, don't play that game, dude. Make sure that you're being safe out there. And if you don't have a tick key from Lyme Warrior, get one. Derek gave me one a while back just to be nice, and I was like, thanks. And I was like, I'll freaking never use this. And I promise I've taken ticks off of myself more than a few times using that. And it's extremely effective. Otherwise, I'd have had to use tweezers. That doesn't always work well. So
Sure. And out here, it's not, the Lyme disease, it's here, but it's not as prevalent as it is in the Northeast. So if you do live in like the Northeast in the woods, be extra cautious. Just
yeah,
trust me, it's not something that you want to mess with.
100%. Anthony, can you move your microphone just a little closer to your mouth?
Is that better?
Yeah, you're a little soft.
Okay.
Don't get crazy hype though. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Man, you soft.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Anthony.
All right, so Danny said to give him 2 minutes. That was about a minute ago, so we'll give him a little.
One more minute on the clock.
58.
One more minute.
Oh, Mr. Drew has a great point, by the way. Don't get DEET on your discs. Has anyone else ever done that?
Oh,
Happens to it
It just melts the plastic.
for reals.
Yes,
disgusting.
I had it like on my hands, and I just was kind of like rubbing it on my arm. I sprayed it on my arm and just kind of rubbed it in, and then I grabbed my disc and it just stuck to my hand. And then I looked at it and the plastic was like noticeably melted.
so what you're telling me is when it's raining, I use DEET.
And then just don't use that disc again. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Noted.
Wow. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can set this up. So the first one we're going to see how this one turns out is from Speak Pipe. We'll take a listen and see what we think. See if we want to discuss it. Hang tight. I got to set it up. Share.
By the way, before you start, I did another ribeye on the new RecTech grill.
Hateful. Is there any way
If
to
you haven't
mute
seen it on Instagram,
someone
you need to
else?
look at it because it was a thing of beauty.
Did I miss something? Are we doing viewer submitted hot takes?
Yes,
We are right now, yeah.
Oh, sick.
All right, so here's one that was submitted via Speak Pipe. We'll see how it goes.
Hold, please.
Oh,
You're
holding.
not recording.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let me start the show then. Welcome to another episode of Disc Golf Hot Takes, where I cannot think of a good intro, so we will just start.
Where we take on all the hot stuff. That is an inaccurate statement.
So we have two hot takes. We have one that was submitted via SpeakPipe and one that was submitted via the Google Forms. I'm not saying we'll always do this, but if we come across a really good one, I thought we would do that. Or if we just can't think of one of ourselves, we'll steal it from you. So here we go.
We might give you credit, but
Right.
we also might not.
This one's from, I'll reserve to say their name if it's a good or bad one. So here we go.
Hey guys, it's Michael from the Chicago suburbs. Hope you guys are holding up well. Longtime listener, first time caller, calling in with a disc golf hot take for you guys. And my hot take is that grip is the most important thing in learning how to play disc golf. Far more important than reach back, disc angles, and especially footwork. Considering that you could play an entire round of disc golf throwing nothing but standstills negates the idea that footwork could ever be more important than grip. Every single shot that you're going to throw in disc golf, you have to grip up. And no matter how good your technique, your reach back, your wingspan, your X step, all that stuff is, if you have a faulty grip on the disc, you're going to be minimizing your gains in that area. So that's my hot take. Hope you guys enjoy it and keep doing the good work.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Robert seems to agree with it pretty strongly.
Yeah.
I'm honestly trying to think, like, you could really go either way on it. All right. So because I assume that Danny is going to go against, is that a correct assumption?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
He's going to go against you.
I'm going to,
Hey,
I'm gonna go.
wait to hear what you have to say. Before.
Yeah.
No, I try to
That's
wait
cool.
and see where everybody is, so we don't.
Yeah, you
pile
gotta
on
gauge the
poor
room.
guy. I try
Gotta
to
gauge-
balance it out, whatever.
Got to gauge the room. That's fine. You guys can be thermometers. I'll set the. I'll be the thermostat. Okay, here we go.
Thermostats have thermometers, though.
No, yeah, but they set the. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's whatever. It's,
That's the hot
lead-
take.
Leadership. It's fine. Okay. Here it is.
How do you grip
Here
a
it is.
thermometer, by the way?
Yeah, it's.
Can we
Make
get
sure it
back-
doesn't have mercury. Okay. I do think that grip is, if it's not the most important, it's one of, but I'll go with it. I'll say it's the most important. If you are gripping the disc improperly, you're not going to take advantage of the full potential that you can get out of a throw. And this could manifest in two ways. One, if you only ever fan grip and you get to distance drivers, you're probably not going to be able to throw them quite as far as you could. You might have a little bit more control, but once you get up to higher speed discs, I think you're going to have a hard time getting them up to the speed necessary to get them fly how you want to, unless you just have super arm speed. So I think you could lose out on it that way. But then also, if you power grip your putters on every single shot, on putts, on up shots, on touch shots, anything like that, you're probably going to grip it a little bit too tight and have a few too many points of contact to get a consistent release on the disc. So if we're talking about the thing, this is like saying that the quarterback is the most important player on the football field because he touches the ball every play. I think in this situation, you could pretty much equate grip to being the quarterback. I think you could say that a good wide receiver might be like footwork. It's great for the quarterback to have somebody to throw to, and that's going to make a successful team. You could equate reach back and timing to a good running back, something that's going to make your offense more reliable. But if you don't have a good quarterback, those things kind of don't matter. So there it is. Bangerang.
What would
think-
the water boy be?
The water boy is Bobby Boucher.
It is the OB line.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's painted. It's always painted.
I think that it depends on the level, right? If you're at
Sure.
a very basic level where you have no idea how to throw a disc and you try and throw a disc with a power grip, you're probably not even going to throw it.
He said when
You're-
you were learning, right? It was
Yeah.
the most
Yeah,
important
he
part when
did
you were
say-
learning, right?
It is your
First
first
thing
round
we
out.
learn.
If this is your first round out and someone says, all right, grab it, power grip, get all four fingers on it, grab it really tightly, and then throw it and let the disc rip out of your hand properly and explains all that. And someone tries to throw it, they're not going to let go of it. You have to have proper mechanics to have enough power to leverage the disc out of your hand. And I think that involves a reach back. But he does make a good point in that when I made the video about grip a while ago on the DD channel, it showed how I grip and how it helps a lot more people get nose down. There a lot of the comments were just this added distance, this added a lot, or this added control, stuff like that. So I can see that. I can see where he's coming from, but I disagree because you can grip it properly and still throw very poorly. Whereas if you reach back and if you have a good pull and you have a good throw, that can kind of compensate for a bad grip. Really, the only thing that's going to happen is a little bit less distance and maybe a little bit of nose up is all that's going to come from a bad grip.
I think what you just said proves that grip is the most important part, because you could have perfect footwork, perfect mechanics, but if you're holding the disc like this, it's not going to go anywhere. It can completely
Where does
ruin,
my thumb go?
yeah, it can completely ruin everything else. I think, like Robert said, with the quarterback is important because he touches the ball every play. This is your last point of contact with the disc, is your fingertips, where it comes out of your hand. I don't think it's close. Grip is absolutely the most. You can completely do everything else 100% right, but if you're gripping it wrong, cool, man. You just threw it super hard and it wobbled 40 feet to the left and went nowhere.
I mean,
there's so many different grips too.
That's the
problem.
thing.
There's so many different.
You need a good one. If you don't do any of them properly,
there's so many different ones though, and that's what makes me think it's less important, right? EMAC, you use like a stacked grip, right, where you kind of stack your fingers on top of each other. I use power grip, 3-finger power grip, a control grip, big germ fam grips, everything. I don't know what Oakley does. Probably something weird because the rest of his throws messed up anyway. But like everything is just
Get got, Eric.
Okay, yeah, but there's so many different grips. If something was that important, people would have optimized it, and everyone would use the exact same one.
so
So
then
you can.
what about backhand and sidearm? Those are completely different. Sometimes one is better than the other for certain things. One grip
I
is
use the
better
same
than the other
grip
for
on
certain
backhand
things.
and sidearm. Is that my problem?
That's why you don't throw them very well.
Yeah, that's your
it.
problem, Eric.
Gotcha. Okay, here's this.
Go ahead.
If you change my grip and give me an objectively bad grip, I can still go out and play disc golf, probably over 900 rated easily. Right?
I'll take
If
that
you
bet.
force me to grip a disc like a fan grip, except upside down, right? My fingers are on the bottom. However you make me grab it, I bet you I'll play 900 rated golf.
Ooh.
However,
Oh, sounds like
fingers
it's
on the bottom.
however,
Bobby,
we can
clear our
have you
schedules.
hold. We can
This
have
is
you hold
happening
the
tomorrow.
rim with your. Okay, so your thumb is the only thing under the disc now. That
Yep.
you think holding it like you flip it around in your hand.
Like a
No,
thumb.
the other way. Put your thumb underneath.
No,
Grab it
no,
like
a thumber and throw it
fingers
back.
underneath. That was the stipulation. Fingers underneath.
All right.
Mhm.
So put
Any
your
grip.
fingers on the rim, the very edge
Like
of the rim.
this.
Yeah,
One finger.
You're not
Yes.
playing
Okay.
900 golf.
No,
I'll let you pick the course.
Okay, nobody's doing this though.
I'll pick
Fair.
the course. Jones Gold.
Yeah.
Jones Gold it is.
You're
Yeah,
going to shoot a
nice.
900 stroke round.
Okay, hold on. Let me circle back to something.
My point
Yes, go ahead.
is, you could play reasonably well with a bad grip, but if you tried to tell me that I have to throw from here without reaching back, I don't think I could do that. Scene done. Go ahead, Robert.
I could.
See,
I bet
could do
I
that.
bet you would play better. If you start at your chest and do everything else properly versus do
Better?
everything properly and
I
grip
bet
it
you'd
like a
play
chicken.
better.
Ow.
No. Not better than you
Bro.
do now.
Well,
Okay, hang on.
how's
That did
that
not-
different?
No, you. Okay,
He leaves.
okay, hang
Oh
on.
no! Oh no!
First of all, Danny, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that way. I meant you would play better if you started at your chest and threw it than if you gripped it like Robert and I were just talking about and did everything
Well,
else properly.
Okay, the fingers on the bottom of the disc, not the rim. But no,
That's the
I think I would
bottom.
do better.
Okay, hold on. Let me throw this one in there because this is a practical example that one of my I'm crying, by the way, just so we're on the same page. Okay, so one of my friends, when he first started playing, gripped every disc, distance drivers, mid ranges, fairways, the same that like Macbeth has shown that he grips putters with his finger on the rim, right? And he could throw like kind of straight, but he could never get it past about 290. And like his form was pretty good. His reach back was good, but I mean, it did not matter what disc he was throwing it with his finger out on the rim. You could not get it. Like he was at a hard plateau and we were like, okay, dude, you got to freaking change this. And he's like, no, I don't want to. It feels uncomfortable. I said, okay, that's fine. We'll continue to throw 100 or 150 feet past you every single time. And he changed his grip and he started, I mean, it was like a week once he got used to it, he was throwing just as far and pretty darn accurately. So something like that can really make a huge difference if your grip is so bad. Thoughts?
But I think even when he had that grip, he was still reaching back and pulling. And so like the grip might be the one thing that changes it, but the other basics essential parts of the throw need to be there in order to have an impact from changing a grip.
That's fair.
Sure, but without the grip, he's losing. I mean, if he's topping out at 290 and now he's throwing, how far would you say? Right?
Yeah, it was over 4 for sure.
So over a 30-40% increase just from changing his grip, changing one finger.
Yeah, I'll say for me, like if and I've tried to reach back farther because I have a pretty short reach back and round quite a bit. So whatever. But when I did try to reach back farther, for me, I didn't notice a big difference. But when I switched my grip to the grip that I use now, that did make a little bit of a distance difference, and it made a really big accuracy difference for me.
What do you think, Bobby?
I didn't hear that last part. Sorry.
He said, "I like turtles."
Turtle. I think we have exhausted that one. And actually, turns out that was a pretty good hot take. So caused a little debate. So we're going to end this episode of the Disc Golf Hot Take. Thanks for sending that in, Michael. So thanks for the discussion. So it looks like maybe we can trust our audience with some good hot takes. We'll see you guys on the next hot take. Disc Golf Hot Take. All right. Should we do a bonus one with this other one that was sent in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Did somebody just read chat? Are you guys just now noticing?
Yes.
Man, I'm going home. I already am home. Dang
You're
it.
home.
For the record, mine was completely accidental. Chat is 100% doing this on purpose.
All right, we're recording.
So what if it's my
Dude,
third Dr. Pepper? Shut up.
That was too good. I'd argue that you'd played better.
You would play better.
That was 100% not how I meant that to
I
come
knew what you
across.
meant, but it just sounded so good.
All right, here we go. Welcome to a bonus episode of Disc Golf. Welcome to.
Why don't you roll that back?
Yeah, roll it back. Hey, everybody, welcome to a bonus episode of Disc Golf Hot Takes. This one was sent in.
Bonus footage. Dude, I miss Walt Heiser. We have more important things to do, but come on.
Oh, we need to do another one. All right, this one is from Lincoln, and this is on tap-ins. I think I've heard this being discussed before. Here we go. Lincoln thinks there should be a 5-foot circle around the basket, and any shot that finishes in that circle should be considered a tap-in, and the player does not have to actually finish the formality of putting their disc in or putting their disc in the basket. This would only save a small amount of time, but I just think the formality of tapping in is unnecessary.
I like the idea, although 5 feet is a stretch. I've seen people miss many of 5-foot putts, especially when it gets windy.
Raise your hand.
I've
If
always
you've missed a
thought
5-foot putt.
1 meter.
Eric, you
maybe
can
a
say it
meter
was
or
me. It's
something
fine.
like that. Sure, maybe like a meter, and I'd be okay with something like that. But even then, who has seen footage of the wind putt at GBO? The tap-ins that day were not gimmies. Like, regardless, it is not an easy task to tap it in when the wind is blowing that crazy extreme. 5 foot, it's a bit of a stretch, I think.
I'm in for it. I love it, because one thing that wears me out more than anything, and it's something that I do, so I'm part of the problem here. Okay. But once we get to see, and for me, I would stretch this out to 10 feet, 100%. I would do it.
Oh my God. You're crazy. You're
First
out
of
your
all,
damn
I've
mind.
never missed a 10-footer in my whole life. No, that's not true. Okay.
Out of here. 10 foot.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But and I'll say I don't really, once we're at 5 feet, I probably don't do this, but there are some people, and I advocate this for pretty much any putt in competition, that go through their full routine, no matter what shot they're throwing. There's some great benefits to that, right? You're going to always be focused. That's really cool. But when it's a 5-foot putt, come on, man. You can almost stretch your arm out that far and make it. Why take more time on the disc golf course when our tournament rounds already take 4 hours? Casual rounds usually take 2 or a little bit more, depending on how many people you play with. It'd just be so easy to walk up to this circle and be like, look, I succeeded. I parked to the hole. I've shown that I can accomplish what's needed. I don't need to putt this. Like, let's just save the 30 seconds times several times around, and we finish a little bit quicker. I'm in. I like it.
You realize you're making party sub irrelevant, right?
Yes. No, you can still go like 6 feet.
No.
5.5 foot doinks.
Party subs, though, that just quick sidetrack. The most painful thing to watch in disc golf.
It is 100%.
Even remember that shot that Grady, when he tried to stop on the tee pad
Yes.
and held onto it and it went sideways? Like, that was hard to watch, but I would still watch it 100 times over watching somebody miss a 6 foot putt.
Which is exactly why they need to keep the 6 foot and 5 foot putts in the game.
I like that the idea of, look, I've executed what I need to. I'm so close that I can just pick up. I like that. Like, look, I did it, man. Because you got it inside that circle. Now you get to be done with the hole.
Sure. That's not pulling out still, but
sure.
I get that. But I still argue that 5 foot is way too far. There are people that miss 5 foot putts on the daily basis.
In the Danny versus Anthony challenges that we've done, in the disc golf answer man stuff, all those things, the ones that I put together anyway. I don't know if anybody noticed. I don't show any tap-ins. I just cut them out because they don't matter, right? Everybody's making them from that distance. So, I mean, I think it's just a waste of time. And I mean, if anything, it makes tournaments more approachable for newer players and lower skills, because the worst feeling ever is missing a 5 footer. So just don't do that. Don't let people have the 5 footers
Don't do that
to
by
miss.
taking it away from them, though?
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that.
It only is downsides if you leave them in. It only makes
Only
people feel
downsides?
worse.
What are
It
the
only
downsides?
makes people feel worse. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
from the
agree.
experience of playing.
Don't go there. Only makes people feel worse missing butts. I'm sorry, that's part of the game. Are you going to take away trees too?
Cut
I
'em
mean,
all
I feel
out, yep.
bad when someone
No.
hits a tree too, but I mean, come on.
You get a
Or
free
misses a
Listen.
Mando, or misses an island. I mean, are we just going to start doing this game? You
Listen,
just throw it off the tee, yeah, pick it up, you're good. Let's move on to
Yes.
the next. Everybody shoots 18. Come on.
that's
How hard did you
exactly
try
the game
there,
I'm
Alex?
trying to play. Look, we got all these Zoomers out here, getting their feelings hurt when they don't win a game of Fortnite. Okay, look, we can save their feelings now by not making them putt 5 footers.
Not making them
I'm
putt.
sorry, I can't even
Yeah.
follow through on that
Well,
one.
is disc golf the only sport that could do this? I mean, what about ball golf? If it goes right to the edge of the hole, can we say it's pretty? It probably
They
would have
have
went
to
in.
tap
So
it in.
they have to tap it in. What if you're playing pool and the ball goes right up to the pocket but doesn't quite fall in? Why can't we
But
count
pool,
that?
hold on. Pool's a little bit different because you have to play for position with each shot. So,
Technically, you
like
do it.
Isn't that the same thing?
right. No, but one hole isn't dependent upon another one for your score. In pool, every ball
I count up all my holes.
you
scores.
count up all your
Cool.
but if you finish a hole by making a 30-foot putt or a 5-foot putt, that doesn't have, like, you write down the same number. That doesn't have any bearing on the next hole. In pool, if a ball is left short of the pocket, you don't just knock it in and now you have position on the next one. You have to play for position. So that one doesn't hold up. But I think the golf one could. And I've played scrambles before where they painted a 2-foot circle around the hole for the sake of speed of play, that if you get inside that, then you just pick up, because we're going to waste probably longer in golf to line that up, read the putt,
Much
stand
longer,
behind it. Yeah. I'm in favor of picking it up.
I say in basketball, if it bounces off the rim, we just go ahead and count it.
I like
Okay.
it.
No, I'm not
All
saying
your
that they
opinions
count
suck
if they're
right now,
inside
Bobby.
5 feet. I'm saying the next shot counts. Jeez.
I say in baseball, if I hit the ball, it doesn't matter where it goes, I should get to first base as long as I made contact with the ball.
Okay, first of all,
Cool.
I agree.
All right,
Fight
that's
the
all.
turtles. We got a straw man over here.
I think we've exhausted that one. So, all right. Well, thanks, Lincoln, for sending in that hot take, giving us something to talk about. And we'll see you guys in the next disc golf hot take.
All right, chat. Before you guys lose your mind, obviously, I don't think we should have any gimmies.
Honestly, same. Yeah. Like,
come on.
on.
Friggin' get out of here. Like,
What am I supposed to argue?
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of having to actually put the disc in the basket from any distance. I don't actually do my routine from 5 feet, but I probably do from 10.
Mhm.
It would actually
do
save
it
us time,
purple.
but there's a possibility that you miss, or it cuts through, or spits out, or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, for all you guys
in
getting
favor.
up in arms out there, you can just shut up.
I'm in favor, but just me. Everybody else can still tap out, but like, give me 5 or 6 feet. I'm out of here,
Yeah,
guys.
we're good. I
Yeah.
make these all the time.
Yep.
Very nice.
Don't worry about it.
All right, YouTube, thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate you. We hit pretty good numbers here, so thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see the YouTube. We got anything special for our YouTubers?
Tonight there's the match play thing with Dixon and Isaiah going out.
Oh, yeah, what time does
Nice.
it go out?
Oh, nice.
I think
Fantastic.
6.
6 this evening. Is it a premiere or just regular?
Just regular.
Just regular. Okay.
And
so
then
it's good.
Beginner's Guide Thursday.
Say again.
And
Beginner's Guide coming out Thursday.
Nice.
That's it.
then in a
And
couple
then-
of weeks,
And then
we're nearly into the testing phase of something else that's coming out soon that you guys are gonna like. If you like Disc Golf Answer Man, you're gonna like what we've got coming out. Can't say much else about it, but it's coming, and you're gonna like it.
do I know what you're talking about?
Yeah, you've been in on several meetings, not the last couple.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. it's
I'm
gonna-
telling you, it's gonna be freaking good.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. See ya.